Hey everybody, what's up? Danny Greco here. I've got October 2021 stats to go over. This is for single family houses in the Greater Seattle area, so let's jump right into it. And overall, not a lot of movement month over month compared to the previous month, September. And this is kind of typical, right? We get into the fourth quarter of the year and things really kind of start to mellow out a little bit. I always kind of say it's like the market goes into a little bit of a hibernation before it wakes up in the early part of the new year and really takes off from there. So month over month, we didn't really see a lot of changes in regard to some of the key factors we look at. So starting with Seattle in general, we saw the median home sell for $850,000. That is exactly flat, exactly where it was the month before. We did see inventory come down just a little bit. Now there's not a lot to begin with, but it did go down just a little bit, which is a little interesting too. Same thing with King County's values flat month over month at 825. And then on the east side actually saw a little bit of a bump. That went up to 1.365 from 1.310. So that one had a little jump, but still from percentage wise, pretty flat. But what we've seen here and what I talked about Seattle just a moment ago, the inventory started to decrease a little bit. So we didn't leave September, and at no point this year have we been at robust levels of inventory to begin with, which is a big reason why we've seen these drastic increases in prices. So to see that these are actually coming even down lower, that's not going to make a tangible difference to the buyer who's already out in the market. You know, I don't think they're really seeing or feeling anything different now than they were a month ago. But just looking and seeing those trends kind of going lower gets me really concerned about what the beginning of the year might look like, because that's always when most buyers kind of jump into the market in quarter one, and it just happens to align when there's the least amount of inventory on the market. So if I see starting in October and inventory levels are declining from already practically nothing, that sets a pretty ominous picture for what I think the beginning market for 2022 is going to look like. So that's something to monitor there. Another statistic, the absorption rate that I measure on a month over month comparison, that was again pretty flat. Now what's interesting is I just looked from what that statistic was a year ago in October 2020 compared to a year now, and it's 32% higher in October 21 than it was in 2020. So again, the absorption rate is measuring basically the amount of pending listings on the market divided by that same number plus the amount of active. So it's essentially looking at how quickly a home is listed to when it sells or goes under contract. And basically, not that last year at this time was any easy market, but it's now 32% even more difficult looking at this year. So crazy numbers there. If we're just looking at neighborhoods that experience the most year over year change in appreciation, for Seattle rather, that would be this Queen Anne and Magnolia, a big jump. 27% year over year in the median price for that area. So pretty crazy there. But again, I think the thing to look for is those inventory levels, and if those really continue to go down, which is hard to imagine is even possible to get lower from where they are now, but if those continue to go down, this could be a pretty bleak quarter one for many buyers in 2022. So we'll see where that goes.